On Thanksgiving with my girlfriend's family, I realized that 3 years ago I and a friend we run a train, MMF, on her married cousin, female. She was already married at the time. Who do I talk first? I met my girlfriend Jessie, 25, 3 years ago while we were both in college. I had just gotten out of rehab for a very serious cocaine addiction. She helped me stay clear of any drugs and has been the reason why I am alive today. I truly feel that I owe her my life. This year, we spent Thanksgiving at her grandparents' house along with her family. When we arrived, I met some of her cousins and who one seemed familiar. This was Samantha, who I thought I knew from around campus when she attended the same college as Jessie and I. She had moved out of state 5 years ago to live with her husband and was back for Thanksgiving now with her 2 kids. After the dinner, all of the younger cousins went outside to talk. It was myself, Jessie, Samantha, her husband Ricky, and 2 more of their cousins. We all started to talk about music, and the theme of music festivals came up. I talked about a music festival that I have been attending for the past 6 years. Samantha and Ricky also went to that festival 4 years ago, and Samantha went with her friends the next year. It wasn't until they showed me pictures of when Samantha went that I remembered where I knew her from. During the year that Samantha went with her friends, I happened to run into her with some friends. I had shoulder-length hair, was pale, and probably weighed 150 pounds while being 6 feet 2 inches. I now have short hair, tanner skin, with tattoos, and with about 50 pounds of muscle. I am unrecognizable now. A lot of my memories from those years are pretty bad, but what I do remember is that when we met up with her group of friends, we all got really friendly. It was 3 girls and 4 of us. We had rented a suite for the weekend and decided to invite the girls over. Due to a mixture of cocaine, alcohol, and MDMA, I can't remember who had sex with who, but I think that I might have had sex with Samantha and another one of my friends joined us, or I joined him. All I know is that myself and another guy had sex with Samantha one night and my friends had sex with her the next night. The worst part is that during those days I never wore protection, and I am sure that neither did my friend. I don't know if we finished inside her or not, but the possibility exists. Samantha and her husband have been married for 5 years and have a 2-year-old and a newborn. I am definitely going to inform Ricky about what happened, but my only concern is what will happen with Jessie. I can't bear the possibility of losing her. She has been what has kept me sober throughout all of these years. She has been the angel on my shoulder that has kept me out of trouble. Samantha still has the same tattoo on her shoulder, so I am 100% sure that it was her. And on one of her pictures from the festival, I am in the background with my back to the camera talking to my friends. I pretty much have no evidence to support my claims, and if I confront Samantha alone, she will just deny it. I am sure she doesn't even recognize me. What do I do? Who do I talk to? Should I even bother? Relevant comments. I'd talk to your girlfriend before anyone else. Yeah, I'll talk to her today and see what she wants to do. Stay out of it. This isn't your confession, it's Samantha's. If I'm reading the dates right, you didn't do anything you need to apologize to your girlfriend about, and you're possibly going to wreck the lives of 3 people if you blab. I would probably feel like shit if I just stayed quiet. Wouldn't you want to know if your wife hooked up with 2 random guys and let them come inside her while you thought she was out with her friends? She put her husband at risk of any STDs. Thankfully, I am clean and had already finished before my friend went in, but I don't know if he was clean. Honestly, while I am normally one for calling out cheaters, this could ruin your own life. Shit, the older kid could even be yours. And given the time that has passed, I would be tempted to let sleeping dogs lie. That said, the right thing to do is to come completely clean to your GF and discuss with her the best course of action. I'd probably downplay the MFM part and just confirm you had sex with Samantha. I have dark brown eyes and hair, and my friend was black. The kid is super blonde with green eye like her dad. Update: 72 days after the first post. I was surprised at the fact that 50% of the commenters said to just keep it a secret. Personally, I kind of have morals, so I decided that I was going to tell Jessie and then tell Rick. I had someone say that the times aligned with the chance that the oldest child could be mine since my friend and I didn't use protection when we had sex with Samantha, but genetically the baby doesn't look like me and my friend is black. During early December, I got in contact with said friend and explained the situation. I asked him about that night. He wasn't able to remember much, but does remember that we didn't use a condom with Samantha and that we both finished inside her. I was still thinking on how to approach Jesse about this, when later that night Joe, my friend, called me back telling me that he had some pictures from the festival weekend. There were two pics where you could see both Samantha and I. One was me in the suite bathroom, wiping blood from my nose, and Samantha was behind standing near me. The second picture was Samantha sitting on the lap of the third guy she slept with on the second day. There were a few more pictures of Samantha and her friends. I got everything I had and called Jessie over the next day. I set her down and told her everything as best as I could remember. She was devastated when I showed her the pictures. She was angry at me, but decided that she just needed some time to think. I gave her some time and explained to her that I wanted to be as honest as possible with her. I told her that I am forever thankful for her help during my rehab and recovery, that I wanted to tell her about this because I see a future with her and I could not hide something like this from her. I couldn't risk it coming out in the open later when we are more committed. I informed her that I was planning on telling Rick, and she was adamant about keeping that a secret. I asked her that if she was in his shoes, how would she feel? She agreed, but said to give her some space to think. We didn't talk much for a week, and on Christmas we met up with her family. Samantha and Rick attended Christmas with Rick's family, so they could not attend. Samantha and Rick came back for New Year's, and that is when I decided to confront them. Jessie and I had a long talk about how I would do this. She wanted to do it anonymously, but I told her that it wouldn't work. I told her that I would invite Rick to a bar on Sunday to watch some football. That Sunday, Rick and I went to the bar and I waited until the end of the game to talk about it. I asked him if we could go to my apartment to talk about something serious. He had a weird look on his face, but agreed. When we arrived at my place, I told him about my past. I then told him everything about the encounter I had with Samantha. Rick's face went pale when I told him that both my friend and I finished inside her. I could see his hands shaking. He asked how many other people did she sleep with, and I told him that as far as I knew there were only myself and the other two. I asked him if she was on birth control at the time, because if not, that there might be a possibility that she might have gotten pregnant that week. He couldn't remember if she was at the time, but a few weeks later she was pregnant. That is when he said he had enough and just got up and left. 5 minutes later, he texted me asking for the pictures. I sent them to him and told him that out of respect I had to tell him, and that he needed to know about the health risk that Samantha had put him in. Samantha and the kids were staying at Jesse's apartment. Jesse told me that when Rick arrived, he just told Samantha to pack their things and that they were leaving. Samantha didn't want to leave and asked why he was angry, but Rick just said that they would talk when they got home. Samantha was not having any of it and demanded to know why. They began to argue and Jesse took the kids into her bedroom. A couple minutes later, Samantha and Rick came into Jesse's bedroom for the kids, and they told her that they were leaving. Samantha was crying and Rick was very upset. Jesse asked what was happening. Rick told Samantha to put their stuff in the car while he explained. Rick went over the whole situation and Jesse corroborated the story I had told her. A few days later, Rick called me to talk about everything. He had been in a rut, a frustrating situation that you feel you cannot change, and moved into an apartment while he set up an appointment with a lawyer. After getting home from the trip, Rick grilled into Samantha about everything that happened. She started to confess, but only little by little. She had apparently had another affair a year ago while on a trip with some friends. Rick had sent for a paternity test for his oldest kid, but after a few days he sent another for his youngest. A week ago, he posted on Facebook that he and Samantha were getting a divorce and that he is not the father of the youngest kid. Jesse's grandma really dislikes me now for ruining Samantha's marriage since she is old school Catholic and doesn't believe in divorce. Jesse and I have been working on ourselves and have been going to couples counseling to deal with this. It has been a bit rough over the past 2 months, but I feel good about my actions and I hope Jesse can understand. Relevant comments. You did good, man. Real proud of you. Not many would have the guts to do the right thing. And as far as Jesse's grandma is concerned, if she acts up, ask her next time if she believes in vows of fidelity. Samantha ruined her own marriage. All you did was be honest. Grandma needs a reality check, and also to read her Bible more carefully because adultery is explicitly named as grounds for divorce in there. He is not the father of the youngest kid. Oh man, that hits like a ton of cheating bricks. I feel for Rick. Samantha has ruined a bunch of lives. Yeah, that was what got to me the most. The time that I had spent with Rick showed me that he is such a nice guy. He truly didn't deserve any of this. Why do people put their personal business out on Facebook like this? Rick posted on Facebook that he and Samantha were getting a divorce and that he is not the father of the youngest kid. He was getting a bit of shit from some friends when he left Samantha and the kids to stay at his own place. It was more to like clear up the air. I think if I were in the same situation as Jesse, I too would get irrationally angry and sad. Mainly because the sexual past of my SO intertwined with my family, and that's just something you don't expect to deal with. Maybe also because of the pictures. When you see pictures of it, has just become so vivid. While I don't think it's right to get angry at the SO for that, I would still be pretty emotional about it. This is pretty much it. She later apologized for getting angry. It was just a shock to her, and she knew what was going to happen when I told Rick.